Welcome to another USD 239 school edition. Superintendent Chris Vignery. Today on our show we have Mrs. Sara Hocking, our 7-12 vocal teacher, and also we have Mr. Dennis Brooks. He's our 5th through 12th grade band instructor. Later in the show we'll have Mrs. Jan Clark, one of our one of our play directors, our musical directors. But first, we're here to visit with Mrs. Hocking and Mr. Brooks. So welcome to the show today. What I want to talk about today is tell me a few things that what you do in your music department. Let's give us a feel of what goes on.
Okay, well, quickly approaching tomorrow, we have a concert, our first fall concert coming up. So we have been working since the beginning of school on a few pieces, and for like the 7th graders coming in that haven't worked on singing parts in music before, we spent a couple weeks just learning about this is the music, this is what it looks like, here's where your part is, here's where the other people's part is, and following the notes up and down. So we kind of start from the very beginning with the newbies, so to speak, and then with the high school and show choir, it's just like we took a little break over the summer, now we're back on track singing our songs again. So
if a student wants to be in show choir, what do they have to do for that?
For show choir, they just need to audition, usually the May before, and there's a few parts to it, just some singing and some sight reading, and they audition, and they have to be in the concert choir, and then if they make it in, they're in concert choir and in New Image. So.
Thank you. Mr. Brooks, so what's a typical band day look like? What do the students have opportunities to do? I understand Friday night football game, we marched on the field, and so some great things going there as well. So,
actually, to start off the year, we begin with the junior high and high school preparing for the state fair. So we take the junior high and high school. We had about 80 plus kids going to the state fair. We marched in a parade. We got a Superior 1 rating this year, which was awesome. After that, the junior high, we primarily focus on concert band, kind of getting ready for our winter concerts. And then the high school this year was a little different. We went out and started working on a field show, which from my understanding, the high school band hasn't actually been on the field for about 20-some years. So we went out, started learning formations. We nailed down 3 tunes, and then last Friday night we went out on the field. We did a pregame show with the fight song and Star Spangled Banner, and then halftime we did 3 classic rock tunes, did some formations, and it went well. And then now, once we get through next Friday night's game, we're going to do the same show and start switching over to concert stuff. So
awesome. And speaking of concerts, we have some upcoming dates. Do either one of you want to share what you have going on coming up?
Well, I'll have Sara start because she's got a concert coming up right away.
Yes, tomorrow night, it'll be the 24th. We have a 7 through 12 vocal concert, and I'll start with 7th and 8th grade choir at 6:30. And usually we wait till 7 for the high school, but this year, for the first time ever, we're doing a 7 through 12 combined number. Pretty excited about that since we haven't done that before, and we got a quick rehearsal in last week, and so hopefully it goes well. But high school will start directly at the end of junior high and directly after that. So junior high will walk off, and then we'll just go right on to high school instead of waiting. But then after the fall concert, we have a couple Christmas shows coming up. The first one is December 11th, which is the junior high's Christmas concert, and that'll be with band. So, right? Yes, so vocal and band together December 11th, just junior high. And then also that day, during the day, December 11th, it's a Wednesday, and we have New Image performs a show called Carols and Cocoa, and it's downtown in the Blue Store. And it is an awesome event. We invite all of you to come out. We have soups. It's a lunch for everybody, cookies, of course, hot cocoa. And we kind of run our show on repeat. We do like 4 or 5 songs, a few solos, take a little break, and people just come in, eat, leave when they're done. It's designed to be a come and go show over your lunch hour. So please stay tuned for that. And I think it starts about 11 on December 11th, and we'll have more info out on that. But we'd love for you to show up and hear us down there. The acoustics are fabulous in the Blue Store. And then the next one is the 16th, which is our Christmas concert, just high school, vocal and band.
Really, the only additions that I have, we do have some opportunities for students to audition for district groups. So the audition date is November 2nd. It's that first Saturday in November. And then if a student makes our district honor groups, then they get to go on and perform the first Saturday in December, which is December 7th. The auditions are in Junction City at the high school, and the honor groups, they rehearse through the day and perform the afternoon at Manhattan High School in their auditorium.
Okay, one final question. Why should a student enroll in band or vocal?
You know, music is it's a perfect way for students to be able to express themselves. Students are going to be learning lifelong skills that they can do, literally for the rest of their lives. If you see some of the community groups, not only vocal but instrumental, a lot of the people involved with those groups, you see all age ranges, anywhere between high school age all the way up through, people in their 80s and 90s. It's something that anybody can do, and they can do it pretty much for the rest of their lives.
All right.
Ditto. Is that a acceptable response? No. Because we're fun. No, there's lots of reasons. A lot of kids like that. It's a change of pace from the AP classes. They have to, not that you don't focus in music, but you're not taking any of it home necessarily, unless you're working on honor group stuff. And it just gives them a time to be together with other friends and people kind of working towards a common goal. So many life skills, like he said, that you can take out of specifically choir and or band, is learning, to work together, mutual respect for each other, the music, the composers, the directors, all involved. Building confidence, learning to stand up there and sing or play or eventually speak in front of people. It gets easier. It does. Building confidence, I said, taking direction, learning to listen to what other people say and fix something and be able to run with that. And just giving what you can as an individual as you work towards a common goal, but everyone has their talents and strengths. So being able to give what you can and know that that'll be enough with everybody combined. It's a pretty cool feeling.
Okay, well, thank you. This concludes the first half of our show. We'll be right back with Mrs. Clark and a few of her cast members. Thank you.
Eagle Marketing Solutions is here, and we're ready to help you reach your advertising goals. With Eagle, you can advertise locally on 40 TV networks or advertise regionally and reach thousands of customers and maximize your advertising with online campaigns. Our local team will create a plan that's affordable for you.
Eagle Communications on Community Connected.
Welcome back to our second half of our USD 239 show. I'm Superintendent Chris Vignery, along with Mrs. Jan Clark, our high school English teacher, high school play director. She's here to introduce our play for November 22nd and November 23rd, coming up here shortly. Mrs. Clark, would you let us know a little bit about this play, this musical?
Yes, we are so happy to be producing Frozen, which is based on the motion picture Frozen, and it's the junior version of the Broadway show. So we're really fortunate to be able to do a play that's currently touring on Broadway. And everybody knows the Disney movie, everybody knows those songs. Those songs will be in it, and a few more surprises.
All right, now we'll introduce our cast here. Go ahead.
All right, I will introduce the students that are with me today. This is Cooper Thompson. They can tell you who their characters are. Peyton Smith, Contessa Weishaupt, Nichelle, and Reagan Smith. I missed your last name. Nichelle Borman and Reagan Smith. There we go.
So, Cooper, tell us a little bit about either your character or something you like about the movie.
I play Kristoff, who is kind of overlooked by Anna, but they end up kind of realizing that they're in love with each other in the end, which is kind of a fun series of events that leads up to that. And my favorite part about the play is, I don't know, kind of how everyone's involved with nonstop music throughout most of it instead of a regular musical like the earlier ones. And I just like how everyone's a big part of it, and there's a lot of opportunity to be exaggerative and just really be who you are.
I'm Peyton. I play Anna, who's kind of a hopeless romantic, and she doesn't really know what that means. But she falls for a bad guy, but she doesn't know that, and then in the end she ends up falling for Kristoff, who's Cooper's character. Yeah, and I like about the musicals, you just get to know your friends a little more that you wouldn't really hang out with usually, but you get to know that they're really good people and you get to experience that. So.
My character is the young Elsa, and she like kind of sets the beginning of the musical with like a little bit of backstory, and then it goes into like the older characters about like what the conflict is. And my favorite part of the musical is probably just like the performance days when like you've been working so hard and like going to all these practices and it finally all comes together.
I'm Nichelle. I play Elsa, who is Anna's older sister who's becoming the queen, and she's just a character that really struggles with her ice powers, just struggling with who she is as a person and finding her identity. Something that I always loved about the musicals is getting to know people you don't really know. And then something I really like about this musical is the new music. Everyone knows the original movie, the music, and I really love the new music that comes with it. It really kind of just makes it its own thing.
I play the young Anna, and so I get to be kind of the bubbly character when she's a kid and likes all of the toys and everything, and she likes to hang out with Elsa with all of her ice powers when she knew about them before they got wiped from her memory. And so my favorite part about the musical is probably just like, I just love all the songs. When everybody starts singing, it just seems so powerful when the chorus just comes on and everybody just wants to sing along. It's just really cool.
Well, that is awesome to hear. I think that most impressive part about the group here is they play on Friday night, they play on Tuesday, they dance on Friday night, they cheerlead on Friday night. I mean, and plus they have to do their studies. So these kids are extremely busy, but they're devoted, and that's pretty awesome. You have to have that in a school our size, and we're thankful for them, thankful for Mrs. Clark giving up her time to do this. And Mr. Dennis Brooks is our assistant director of the musical. So once again, November 22nd and November 23rd, be here. 7 o'clock start probably?
7 o'clock start.
7 o'clock start. And thank you guys for being here. And till next time, thank you.